Students, good morning. Today we will start chapter 9, that is conditional constructs in Java. First of all, we should know about programming construct and the types of programming constructs. Programming constructs control the flow of our program in which statements are executed. There are three types of programming constructs: sequential constructs, conditional constructs, and iterative constructs. In sequential constructs, each line of our program is executed as it is written. It executes line 1, line 2, line 3 in a sequence. In conditional constructs, execution of statements depends on certain condition. If a condition is true, then a set of statement will get executed, and if the condition is false, then another set of statement will get executed. In iterative construct, a set of statements is executed again and again till condition is true. This is known as looping also. In a program, we can use any or all of the three constructs. In this chapter, we have to learn about conditional construct. Conditional statements are also known as decision making, branching, or selection statement. There are two statements, if and switch, are used for conditional construct. However, in our previous chapter, we have used conditional operator to do simple conditional work. But in this chapter, we have to learn about the if statement and switch statement. The if statement is generally used for bidirectional branching. In bidirectional branching, if condition is true, then the program control flows in other direction, and when the condition is false, then it moves the program control in another direction. Here in the syntax of if, we write the condition just after the if statement, and the true statements are written in curly bracket. When the condition evaluates to true, the all statements under this curly bracket get executed. When if condition evaluates false, then program control moves after the if block. If there is a single statement inside the if block, then we can ignore the curly bracket. Look at this example. If a is greater than equals to 60. If a is greater than equals to 60, that means if this condition is true, then it will display senior. Otherwise, it will display only citizens. That means this statement system.out.println citizen is outside of this if block. This statement will execute in both cases whether the condition is true or false. That means if age is 40, then it displays citizen only, and if age is 65, 70 or 80, then it displays senior citizen. The another form of if is if else. If else is used when we have to perform two different actions depending on certain condition. Look at this example. In this example, or you can say in this syntax, if this condition is true, then these statements are executed, And if this condition is false, then it comes into the else block and this statement will get executed. Take an example, uh, like if num modulus 2 equals to 0. Here num is an integer variable, and if num modulus 2, that means if we divide the num by 2 and remainder will be 0, then it will display even number. And if this condition is false, then it will display odd number. That means out of these two statements, only one is executed depending on the condition. The third form of if is if-else if ladder. This is used to check a series of conditions. For suppose multiple conditions, we can apply if else if. In this situation, we check first condition 1. If this statement is true, then the all statements associated to this block will get executed, and if this condition is false, then comes the control to the else if and check for this condition too. If this condition is true, then statements related to this block will get executed, and if this state condition is also false, then comes into else block. Else block means if all the above conditions are false, then the statements related to else block will get executed. In if-else if ladder, as per our requirement, we can add many conditions. For example, there are two variables SP and CP, that is sell price and cost price. Sell price and cost price both are two variables that holds the sell price and cost price, and it is checking that if sell price is greater than CP, that means one condition. Now if this condition is true, then this statement will get executed. Profit and profit amount, whatever is calculated. But if this condition is false, that means sell price is not greater than cost price, then another condition will check. SP is less than CP. If sell price is less than cost price, then this statement will get executed, loss and loss amount. If all the above conditions, that means neither it is greater than nor less than, that means the statements related to else is executed equals, that means 0. Fourth form of if is nested if. It means one if statements inside the another if statements, either in if part or in else part. For syntax, there are three different syntax if nested inside if part. Here is first if statement and the curly bracket of the first if statement, and inside the curly bracket of first if statement there is a second if statement. Here we can say that this if statement is nested inside the first if statement. If expression 2, then statement else statement 2, after that close the curly bracket. This close curly bracket is for first if. The body of first if is started from this curly bracket and ends to the this curly bracket. Now another if else statement are inside the body of first if statement. It is known as nested if. In this case, first expression 1 is evaluated. If expression 1 is true, then expression 2 is checked. Otherwise, it is not checked. Now in next syntax, this if-else statement is nested under the else part. For example, if expression 1. Now, if expression 1 is true, then body of if is evaluated. But in this case, if expression 1 is false, then the body of else is evaluated and the if statement is nested now in else part. It is the opening curly bracket of else and this is the closing curly bracket of else. And this if else statement is nested inside this else part. And now the third third statement, if statement is nested inside the if part and another if statement is also nested inside the else part. That means one if statement is nested in if part and another if statement is nested in else part. In this way, we can use any of pattern to use one if statement inside the another if statement or else statement. Now take an example of nested if. It is the representation of third syntax where if else statement is nested inside if part and another if else statement is nested inside the else part. There is three variables a, b and c, and by using this program we have to find the largest among all three variables. First of all, if a is greater than b, if a is greater than b, if this statement is true, then it will check if a is greater than c. Otherwise, if a statement is false, then it comes into the else part and check if b is greater than c. If this statement is true, then this message will get displayed, otherwise this message will get displayed. So in that way, if first condition is true, then second condition is checked, and if a is greater than c, then it will display a is the largest, otherwise it will display c is the largest. In case of nested if, we should use proper curly braces. Without curly brackets in nested if, programmer may face any ambiguity that else belong to which if, and this situation is known as dangling else. Dangling else means else is not clear that this else belongs to which if. For example, look at the example 1. Here, first if, second if, and there is only one else. Now, programmer may confused that this else belongs to which if, first if or second if. In this writing pattern, it seems that else belongs to first if, but it is not. But this type of confusion or ambiguity is not with compiler because it has predefined rules. First rule, each else belongs to the nearest or closest unmatched if, and in this way else becomes the part of second if because this else is the part of second if because it is the if that is the nearest to else and it is not matched till. When compiler does not find if statement for any else statement, it flags an error, else without if. In case of we use only else statement and we just given semicolon in both if statement, then it will generate an error that else belongs else without if. There is no if for this else. So we have seen that there is a dangling else problem in example 1, and we can correct this problem by using example 2, in which we have applied a proper curly bracket that describe the else belongs to first if, because in example 1 else belongs to second if. Now your if else statements is over. In our next video we will learn about the switch statement. Thank you.